the Ashton Kutcher drawing board, and we're going to add a couple of names here. We're going to start with Brittany Murphy. Now, Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher dated in 2002 into the early part of 2003. I believe they broke up in like January 2003. She went on to get married and have a whole life in that couple of years after they dated, and she ended up passing away in 2009 in Britney Spears' home, of all places, of pneumonia, and I believe her autopsy said there was a drug toxicity as well. So Brittany Murphy's connection to Ashton Kutcher is questionable to the audience at large because Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Murphy have a lot of pictures of them with Diddy, who Ashton Kutcher obviously had a close relationship with. And Diddy also has a fair amount of people around him who were very healthy who passed away because of pneumonia. So of course that brings into question if Ashton Kutcher was somehow involved in the passing of Brittany Murphy. But even though they remained friendly after breaking up, Brittany Murphy doesn't seemingly have anything on Ashton Kutcher. Who knows though, right? We have no idea. So why would Ashton Kutcher have any motivation to take Brittany Murphy's life later on when she's married and living in this house with her mom and her husband, who also were very questionable and weird? They would all like sleep in the bed together, but I digress. And then Britney Spears sold Brittany Murphy that house because she said there was just like a weird vibe there. I think she said it was like haunted. So there's a lot of suspicion around Brittany Murphy's passing. They cannot necessarily be tied to Ashton Kutcher, but a lot of people tend to just have some questions because of the close proximity of Diddy and everything we know about Diddy now. And then another name we're going to add to the board is Ashley Ellerin, who dated Ashton Kutcher in 2001. And I mean, I say dated very loosely because Ashley met Ashton at a birthday party, and then later he asked her to go out on a date. He showed up to that first date allegedly very late, at like 10:45 at night. So he shows up, looks through the window, knocks on the door, nobody answers, and he sees what he thinks on the carpet is red wine. He said he met her at a party, he thought people were just partying, someone spilled red wine, so he turned around and left. That was his testimony. Later on, they caught the person who took her life, who was a serial killer in California, Michael Gargiulo, and Ashton Kutcher testified in that trial that that's what he saw. But later, during the Danny Masterson trial, one of Danny Masterson's ex-girlfriends / one of his victims came forward and said that there was a phone call the night that Ashley Ellerin passed away between Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson. Basically, like a fixer situation, asking, what should I do? Is this going to be bad for my image? I'm just going to leave. So in moments after Ashley passed away, the question becomes, could he have saved her life if he had called 911? Because he clearly knew that wasn't wine on the carpet, because he called Danny Masterson to say something bad happened, basically, and was trying to get someone to help him figure out the PR spin on the situation. Allegedly, according to some hearsay, he and Danny Masterson decided it would be best if he left the scene of the crime and said it was just wine. So that's what he did, which is very suspicious. So again, we're adding to the Ashton Kutcher board, and we are left with, it is a net negative for society and Hollywood at large, his career. But when you look at his dating record, Ashley Ellerin, 2001, passed away. Then he moved on to date Brittany Murphy, who later passed away. Then he went on to date January Jones, who he got angry with because she was in a movie with Bruce Willis, and allegedly Bruce Willis hit on her, tried to set them up on a date, like unknowingly. Then January Jones went to Ashton, told him. Then he said, "You're not even a good actress. You should leave Hollywood." So she left him instead. And then she went on to have a child where no one knows the baby daddy. She is sisters doing it all for themselves, basically. And then he went on to marry Demi Moore, where she describes a relationship that sounds not far off from some of the testimonies we got in the Diddy trial from his exes, if we're being honest. And now he's with Mila Kunis, who we met when she was a teenager, who he made stand up for Danny Masterson, possibly jeopardizing her entire career as well. So yeah, net negative, plus the whole Dax Shepard thing. It's bad.